Hello, everyone. Welcome to another podcast episode of Powering Up Your Formulations, sponsored by BASF Performance and Formulations Additives. This episode is special because we have a guest from our global additives team, Delphine Kimpel. For those who have not listened to us before, my name is Luis Angeles. I'm your host and Global Additives Industry Marketing Manager in North America. My colleagues Delphine and Mervin will join me today to talk about three of our high-performance light stabilizers within the Performance Additives product family. We hope the audience enjoy and find a solution to their formulations needs through these three products. Hi Delphine, welcome to our podcast. It is a big pleasure having you. Could you please introduce yourself and give some words to the audience?
Hello, Louis. Thank you. I'm fine. Thanks. And thanks for your nice words. Yes, hello, everybody. So, a few words about me. As you have heard, my name is Delphine Kimpel, and I'm French, of course. You can hear. And I've been working in the field of the coating and the light stabilizers since 1995 already. From the background, I studied polymer chemistry in France, in Strasbourg, which is east part of France. And I first started to work at Herbert's in 95, which is now Axalta in Germany, when I was developing some waterborne primer and waterborne base coat for automotive OEM industry, and especially with Mercedes-Benz. Then I moved in 2000 to the former Ciba Specialty Chemical in Basel in Switzerland, where I worked almost 10 years there with the light stabilizer for the general industrial paint and also cold coating industries. With the acquisition of Ciba by BASF in 1999, I moved back to Germany, working in with UV curable binders, but also with light stabilizer for the European furniture and flooring industry. And since 2020, so we have got a new organization. So I'm back in this additive world. And I know I'm focused on light and heat stabilizer, but for all industries, so not only furniture and flooring, but also for automotive, so GIP, for wood, for the EMS region, as you said, Louis, but also since March, I am globally responsible for this new business development for Performance Additives. Thank you.
Thank you, Delphine. Welcome again, and it's a big pleasure having you. And Mervin, so I appreciate you also introduce yourself.
Thank you, Louis. Hi, everyone. My name is Mervin Wood. I'm a technical expert in performance additives for NAFTA, responsible for UV absorbers, hinderedimine, light stabilizer, and antioxidants for all North America, specifically coatings and adhesives, all areas and all applications. I came to BASF from the Ciba acquisition, where I was in research or production or process development in various things. Now, with the last 12 years, I've been in technical service for UV absorbers, hinderedimine, light stabilizers, and antioxidants, helping our customers choose the right products, and then also running the weathering lab, as well as regional intellectual property management. Back to you, Louis.
Thank you, Mervin. In our last episodes, my technical colleagues and I have shared how BASF Additives can be the great sustainability partner of our customers. Our strong global expertise as a team can help them to navigate through challenge and turn it into opportunity across different industry applications. And as a background of today's topic, we can say, for instance, in the coatings industry, some customers' formulations are giving an undesired color change when exposed to natural or accelerated weathering. Therefore, there is a need to extend the product warranty of exterior products, and our additives can meet these requirements. UV and heat exposure are detrimental to the lifespan of coatings. We need protective shield to keep organic substrates looking new and performing well. In this sense, our performance additives portfolio has been distinguished to meet the highest performance and durability requirements of coatings across different applications, such as thin films or at reduced film thickness in solvent-based transportation and industrial applications. Exterior solvent-based good coatings, UV curable systems, among others. As we have a broad portfolio, we are only going to talk about three of our highest performance UV absorbers. I'm talking about the Tinuvin 477, the Tinuvin 479, and or Tinuvin Carboprotect. Each of these products offer exceptional attributes, and we hope the content will be relevant to solve formulations challenges at our customers' um, uh, uh, perspective. In this sense, Delphine, my first question to you is why our Tinuvin 477 and or 479 products have a highest performance? And secondly, if we start to talk about the Tinuvin 477, what our audience should know about this product in particular?
Yes, Louis, thank you. Yeah, these two products are from the triazine series with these four numbers for each, the 477 and the 479. So this is a triazine product, as you can also see in the one picture. If you can just go back. Yes, well, exactly. So this is what we call a red-shifted UV absorber. So you can see here on the left-hand side this red curve. And you can see that's the 477 compared to the 1130, which is a conventional benzotriazole, absorbs much more in the visible part than the 1130. And we will see that in the next slides why it is so important. So this product 477 is very performant with regard of protecting the wood and the lignin itself. This product can be used as well for professional use or industrial woods or do-it-yourself. So it is not a problem to use it, whether it is sprayed or it is dipped or it is brushed. You can use it as you like. And of course, it needs to be combined to a house when it goes outside, so for outdoor uses. Yeah? This is a product which is liquid. It's 80% in a delivery form. And if you can, Louise, we can just go to the next slide.
Yep.
And I will just explain you why is it important to have a red-shifted UV absorber.
Yeah, thank you, Delphine. In fact, well, I would like to also ask you if is there a way to even increase the performance of this Tinuvin 477 for good coatings? So if you can tell us more, well.
Yeah, this is a great question, and indeed we will see also in the next slides that the UV absorber, as you hear, you can stay still in the previous slide, Louis. That's the lignin is actually absorbing the. So the lignin is what you see on the right-hand side of the slide. This is a product that actually is sensitive as well in UV light, but also in the visible light. And you will see that the Tinuvin 477 will also only be accountable for the UV part, but we need to indeed combine it with our lignostab, so either the 1198 or the brand new one, 530, to make a very nice synergy between these two products to really have a very nice color stabilization of the lignin. Yeah. So if you go now in the next slide, Louis. So you see that this lignin is actually on the left-hand side absorbing, so some parts of these big molecules are absorbing in the UV light. And then they are creating some radicals. And the radicals, when they are recombining, they will create this colored product, this hydroquinone and this ketone. On the left-hand side, you see this, what is in red. And these are other groups of the lignin which are absorbing in the visible light. Again, creating some radicals, and when these radicals will be, we are recombining, they will also creating some colored product. And when I'm saying now radicals in these intermediates, this is where the lignoside 1198 or 530 will play an important role for the next combination, the next stabilization. So if you can go to the next one, Louis. Okay, so just to summarize what is important when you want to stabilize the wood is that you have really to protect two parts of the light. So one part is the UV light, so up to 300 nanometer, and the visible light. Yeah, and this is why what is depicted in the next slide. Perfect. Here it's quite a busy slide. I'm sorry for that, but you can see basically that there are some range, so from 280 up to 500 nanometers, where the lignin will absorb and create these radicals that we have seen 2 slides before. So therefore, it is really important to have a chromophore that is absorbing as well in the UV part, but also in the visible part. And this is actually the task or the behavior of the 477 in red. This nice absorption curve. You may also look at the Tinuvin 326, which is even more red shifted than the 477, but this product we will not speak about and also not promote for a sustainable product, sustainable paint, because this product has now been classified as substance of very high concern quite recently, last month. So you see 477 is absorbing as well in UV light, but also in visible part. And then in the next slide, we can see its effect. If you're now considering a light wood like maple, you can see that on the left part of the first row, this is how the maple is looking like after 1,000 hours of exposure. Yeah, so quite brownish. If you put 477 in the clear coat, you can see the discoloration is limited, so reduced. And this is what you have asked before, Louise. If we put some lignoside 1198 in the pretreatment, so where you cannot protect the lignin from the visible part, so you will create the radicals, but lignoside 1198 will just trap them right from the beginning, and it will stop the formation of other colored species. So if you combine 1198 with 477 on the top, you have a perfect color stabilization. On the row below, then you can see that we have also some Tinuvin DW product. So this is the product, the form of the 477 for waterborne coatings. Okay, and if you go to the next slide, this just shows you, so how important it is to use the right chromophore. So if you now consider long oil alkyd on fur, and this is real exposure made in Australia. So you can see on the left-hand side that how it looks like after 18 months or 1.5 years without any additive. If you now add some light stabilizer, so UV absorber like the Tinuvin 99/2 and some halves, the Tinuvin 292, you do have an improvement, yeah, with regard of protection of your paint, but you still have some cracks, and you see this dark spot. This is where the wood has been attacked. By increasing the the amount of UV absorber, so you mean more absorption and lower transmission, you increase the protection. This is what you do when you go from 1.5% Tinuvin 99/2 to 2.5 Tinuvin 1130, you do see an increase. But the better increase also is when you even switch from 1130 to 99 without increasing the concentration. And also here you see an important parameter is when you are switching from 292 to Tinuvin 5100. And here you see that the product 5100 does not react with a metal dryer, so you have earlier a better cross-linking density than so with 5100 than with 292. And then on the right-hand side, this is the Rolls-Royce or the Cadillac in the US. If you are just switching from 99/2 to Tinuvin 477, you have a much better, a higher protection, and also a protection in the visible range. So you protect longer the lignin, and you can see that after the same amount of month in Australia, the paint is still perfect. You have no cracks, and the wood is also very well protected. That will be it for the 477.
Thank you, Delphine. I'm surprised about these results and also about the performance of our Tinuvin 477. So this is very, very interesting to me, and I hope that the audience finds this also as an important results for any of the challenges that they are facing. But well, so let's move to the second product, and well, I would like if the audience also have any question, and also they wanted to reach out to us further, well, just let us know by email. At the end of the presentation, you will see our contact details. But well, talking about our second product, the UV absorber Tinuvin 479. So I think this is one of the most interesting application of this additive. It is the photovoltaic cells. So, Delphine, could you please let us know how our additive makes the difference in this application?
Yes, very good question. Indeed, the 479 has a very specific and very unique feature, as you see already in the one pager. This product absorbs much more than the conventional product, even much more than the 400, which is already a very good product. And it is specifically important when you need to have a very good protection in a very thin film. Yeah, and this is only achievable when you are using 479. So you can see here that this product, as you have seen before, this is specifically interesting for these photovoltaic cells, yeah, but also very thin film on like packaging. This is also a very interesting product for that kind of application. Again, just like the 477, like all UV absorber, if you intend to use it for an outdoor application, you have to combine it with the HALS. Yeah, so you have the different ones.
Thank you. So, based on the performance highlights, how can the long-term performance be explained to our customers? Is there a difference in terms of thermal stability between both products?
Yes, well, exactly. So it is important to think about how long does your UV absorber stay in your paint. So it can be a combination of migration outside of the paint, or a photostability itself from the chromophore, where we know that, for instance, small molecules like benzophenone, they do not stand so much of the UV light, so they tend to degrade quite rapidly. Better ones are the benzotriazole, the 1130, but much better ones are the triazine products. So as I said before, everything that starts with a 4. In that case of the 479, it's a very big molecule, so the bigger, the more stable. So this product will really, it's very heat stable, does not migrate, stays what it is, and therefore you can really protect your coatings, or in that case, this photovoltaic cells, up to 10 or 20 years of, you can guarantee this kind of longevity or of protection. Yeah, this is really important to be mentioned. This cannot be achieved with conventional benzotriazole. And in this slide that Louis, you are showing us, it is important again to mention that UV absorber, or the amount of light that goes through a coating, this eye, you can see on the right-hand side, this is really depending on 3 different parameters. So if you see that below, this Lambert law, this absorption is depending on 3 factors. D meaning the thickness of your coating, C the concentration of your UV absorber, and this epsilon, this is extinction coefficient. So in the case where you have very thin coatings, 20 microns for instance, or even lower, to be sure that you still have the same amount of light penetrating through the coatings, you have either to increase the concentration of your UV absorber, but sometimes it is also some limitation, because if you put too much of your additive, you tend to destroy the properties of your film. Yeah, you are bringing not anymore an additive, but slight co-binder, and some properties like chemical resistance or crash resistance are affected. But if you take a product like Tinuvin 479, which has a very high epsilon, then you can compensate the concentration and the thickness. Yeah, and this is what makes the 479 so interesting. And what we will see in the next slide is indeed what is the performance of the 479. Here we are looking at coating, a clear coat for automotive. So normally the product the clear coat are applied up to 40 microns onto a base coat, and you can definitely see on the 2 left-hand side that with a normal amount or concentration of UV absorber, either a triazole like 384 or a triazine like the 400, you definitely do not protect well enough your coating. And you see this big delamination, so that's not good. And as comparison, on the right-hand side, with 1% Tinuvin 400 with 40 micron, you see you have a perfect protection. And if you indeed reduce to 20 micron and you still keep a normal concentration, like 1% of Tinuvin 479, you still have a perfect protection of your substrate and of your base coat without any blistering, without any delamination. And on the last and next slide, it also shows you what you were also asking before, Louise, is how stable is the 479. Here we see how much of the UV absorber is still remaining in the clay coat. In that case, after almost 5 years of Florida exposure, this time onto a silver base coat. So in the green line, So you see on first before exposition. So this is the full the fully green squares, and after 5 years you can see that you have a much stronger transmission or remission. That means that the benzoyl has disappeared. So it can matter of the photo